So when you sit on it,
Sorry.
it's kind of like a supported
I was
squat. No, you're
curious
good.
because I've never used one or never
Okay.
had one.
So just kind of the way, like you should, like kind of want to like straddle it. So just because of the way you're sitting, like it opens up your pelvis. And then because you're on a ball and you like have to keep your balance, you're not gonna like, you kind of tend to have good posture. And that's good for baby because it kind of helps baby get in good posture too. And then just the movement, just like the rocking. So it's kind of like you're doing a squat,
Okay.
but it's not hard on your knees, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like a supported squat. And a lot of moms say it just feels good, like it's just a comfortable position to be in. And then you can just like rock back and forth. You can rock side to side, which if you put your hands, when you sit on it, when you're doing that, go ahead and put your hands like on your hips because you kind of feel your pelvis is moving. And you got some good posture, and it's a supported squat. And I was just telling her, you're taller than I am. So I feel like this is a really good size
So
for,
they come
for
in
somebody
different
like me. But if you're taller and you want one for personal use, they do come like, you can. This is like a medium, but you can get like a
Okay.
large and extra large. So yeah, go ahead. You can sit on it while we do class. Like, go for it. Like, it's amazing.
I will. Do you want to do it though?
No, you go first.
Go for it. It feels so good. And just make sure when you sit on it that it doesn't like.
That it doesn't like
Here.
bump me off or something.
Yes, I was gonna say, go ahead and
little
sit
bit.
on it just so it doesn't roll away for you. You can just
Okay.
make yourself comfy. Yeah. So I did want to mention, I'm gonna go get another pack, but
My kids wouldn't let it go.
Yeah, that was my
well,
daughter's
that's
problem.
kind of yeah.
to-
Breakage.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to like either be like, okay, you sit on it
This is my
like
ball.
properly, or yeah, I don't know. We haven't figured that all out yet.
It would probably
But-
help my oldest daughter with her attention.
I was gonna say they do say it does. I just
She does best when she's moving.
yeah. So we did talk about the emergency, and I'm gonna give you each a pack. They have like tons of different flavors. So if you don't like a flavor, you can kind of explore. But this is something that we said is good for the varicose veins, your vitamin C, and also in labor to keep your energy. It gives you energy. So that's a good thing. So we'll make sure you pick one of those up. Because that's a good thing to keep in your labor bag or handy. So when you're in labor, you can go ahead and drink that, keeping yourself hydrated. So let's go ahead and look at stage 2. So stage 2 is pushing the baby out to the, it's from like the time you start pushing until baby is born. So this is where we go from 10 centimeters to birth. It may last a few hours, a few minutes to more than an hour. This is where contractions are about 45 to 90 seconds, and they're lasting 3 to 5 minutes. Okay? Typically, it lasts 1 to 2 hours. This is where if you have the urge to push and your care providers, like you're fully dilated, you can go ahead and push. If you have the urge to push and you're not fully dilated, this is where we say pant through your contraction or blow out the candle. So when you're blowing, you're not going to be pushing. This is where, yeah, if your care provider tells you you can, go ahead and push. If not, blow out the candles. Remember that your uterus is the strongest muscle in your body. So your uterus is going to be doing a lot of work, and you can work with your uterus. But just remember, your uterus alone is the strongest muscle in your body. Remember that your cervix has opened up widely, so remember the bagel for 10 centimeters. And just try to relax, letting your cervix continue to stretch for baby to be born. Let's look at some positions for pushing. So I kind of showed you one with the birth ball, how you can go on all fours, but kind of hugging the birth ball. I feel like it's easier on your joints that way. That is one position for pushing. You cannot actually sit on the birth ball for pushing though. That's one thing you can't do. If things are feeling like they're going fast and you just want to kind of catch your breath a little bit, lay on your side. And sometimes moms are like, they want to lay on their side, but they're like, oh no, it's gonna slow down everything. But if that's the position you feel good in, go ahead and do it. It's not like don't be worried that it's gonna like stop everything or something like that. If that's the position you feel good to push, then go ahead and do that. because sometimes that is also a position that will help decrease in tearing. Your hands and knees with the ball. A birth stool. Sometimes your care provider will have it's like a little U-shaped stool that you can sit on. It's kind of like a squat, a nice deep squat, but you're supported sitting on something. So that's a really nice option if they have that. Standing. Sometimes your care provider will let you stand. So if you're allowed to stand and that's the way you feel good, go for it. Kneeling on the bed. Sometimes moms like to pull on something. Sometimes they'll kind of be like a semi-recline and you can pull back on your legs. So just kind of find, if your care provider lets you, what you feel good, what position you like. And this is where you want to remember to relax your jaw. If you have a relaxed jaw, you have a relaxed perineum. So this is kind of where I always tell the partner to remind the mom, if you see her tensing up her, kind of pulling her shoulders in and having a tense jaw, just kind of rub her cheek nicely and just be like, let's relax your jaw and relax your shoulders. Because if you're tensing, if your jaw is nice and tense, your perineum is tense too. If your jaw is loose, your perineum is loose. So we just want to remind mom to do that. So let's look a little bit how to push. How are we going to push? Use had babies. Anything you want to say?
I don't know how to push.
Okay.
I just
I was always told to push like you're making a bowel movement,
Mhm.
like push hard and
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So kind of the pressure is kind of like you've been constipated, kind of like a bowel movement. But within that, we also want to remember to tuck our chin, and we always say whatever position you're in, so your baby's here, kind of curl your body around your baby. So if you're on your hands and knees, if you're squatting or something, just remember to tuck your chin and kind of curl your body up. Even if you just put your hand on your stomach now, just watch what your body does when you do that. And if you guys want to stand up or just do it where you're sitting there, just kind of feel what your muscles do. It just kind of helps push, putting your pressure down to help baby come out. And this is where, so let's say our contraction started. We're going to take a nice deep breath. Sometimes women only need to do one nice deep breath. Sometimes they do a nice deep breath and then another one. What you're going to do then is hold it for about 8 seconds, and while you're holding it, you're going to be pushing, kind of like that bowel movement. And a lot of times, if your care provider will let you, we say, get a nice warm washcloth, put it on your perineum. She'll just hold it on there, and it'll feel good. It helps to prevent tearing, but also it directs where to push. If you're kind of feeling I don't know if I'm pushing right, just get her to put that nice warm washcloth there, and it'll help you direct your pushing. And so we took our nice deep breath, we're holding that, we're tucking our chin, kind of curling our body, whatever position we're in, curling our body around our baby. And so we're going to push, and usually we can get, if we hold it and push, we can usually do that 3 to 4 times within each contraction. So we're gonna, let's just say, so we took our nice deep breath, we've tucked our chin, we're pushing down, we did that, let's say we counted, held it for 8 seconds, then we're gonna take another nice deep breath, hold it, pushing down, and then another nice deep breath, and then when you feel your contraction going down, that's when you can stop pushing. And take your nice deep cleansing breath then at the end. And then as it's going down, then you can stop pushing. So I know it's kind of a lot, but when you get there, your spouse and your care provider and everybody will help you. So what you want to remember, take your nice deep breath if you need to, take 2 nice deep breaths. Hold it till about 6 to 8 seconds, pushing down, tucking your chin, pushing down. Stop, take another nice deep breath, push. So remembering to get that nice deep breath, and then when we're done, that cleansing breath again. So keeping oxygen, I always remind moms to give me a nice deep breath, because that oxygen makes baby happy. So kind of keeping yourself full of oxygen, because your muscles and everything's going to work good if they've got oxygen. It's gonna keep baby happy. And this is where, when you're pushing, just kind of like imagine your baby coming down through. Imagine your baby being born. This is where the partner, if you need to hold a leg or something, or just be there, sometimes just holding her hand, letting her know that you're there, and sometimes just helping her take a nice deep breath, remembering those cleansing breaths, taking sips, giving her sips of water. And this is where I always say, remember your chapstick, because with your breathing, your lips will a lot of times get very dry. So don't forget your chapstick. So as baby's coming down through, and we have a lot of pressure, baby's coming down, and baby starts to crown. So baby's head's like just starting to peek through. Can anybody tell me what we're going to be feeling at this point?
The head's
So-
peeking through.
So there is a lot, so our cervix has done a lot of dilation, but even with all this pressure now, there's a lot of pressure. And we usually, a lot of times, moms will get the ring of fire. And this is like a burning, stinging, painful sensation. Because you can think all this pressure now is right there, right at baby's head, about ready to come out. So there's a lot of pressure, there's a lot of stretching. And this is where, when you get that ring of fire, you need to push through that ring of fire. But this is also where I tell moms it's very important to listen to your care provider, because if baby's heart rate and everything is really good, they might get you to pant through or blow out the candles for like a couple contractions, just because that gives it just gives a little bit of time to continue to stretch and help to prevent tearing. So if they tell you if baby is in like good condition, heart rate and everything's good, they might ask you just to pant or blow through a couple contractions. That's just giving it some time to stretch over baby's head to help prevent tearing. But sometimes they'll want you to go ahead and push right through that ring of fire, and if that's what they want you to do, just push through it. It's gonna hurt, but you can push through it. So always tell moms.
It was better to push through it than it was to like,
not.
push through it.
Yes. So that is, a lot of times moms will get that ring of fire and it hurts, but just remember you want to go ahead and push through that. So you push through. So we push through that ring of fire, and baby is here. They'll go ahead and put baby right up on your chest, and we'll talk about all that newborn stuff in lesson 6, how's baby look and everything. We'll go over that, but for right now, baby's born. Mom and dad are crying. It's an amazing moment. This is where we tell dads just totally embrace mom and all that's happening with baby and everything. It's an amazing moment. I'm sure even seeing your grandbaby being born is so amazing. So we're just like totally embrace it, every moment of it. This is a time where if you want pictures, get some pictures. They're going to be, checking baby out, making sure baby's all good and everything, but we'll talk more about that later. So baby was born. One thing I did forget to say, so when baby's crowning, sometimes moms like to reach down and feel baby's head. It just kind of helps them push through that ring of fire and stuff. Or if you want a mirror, they can sometimes mirror it for you so you can see it. That's an option. So let's look at the third stage. The third stage, so baby's here. Baby was attached here. So now we've got this placenta yet to be delivered. So what do you guys think that's gonna feel like? Baby's head versus placenta. So a lot of times we say it's gonna be nothing like birthing your baby. So baby's got bones in its head, the placenta's nice and squishy. So what's gonna happen after baby's born? Do you remember?
Do you even
Not
have
long,
pushing
yeah.
urges for the placenta?
Sometimes moms have a little bit of a kind of like a soft contraction. It's really nothing compares to the contractions and stuff that you had with baby. So and sometimes moms are sewing just enthralled with baby. They don't even remember the placenta.
Because I
coming
remember
out.
them asking me to push, but I can't.
Okay.
And I'd be like, how do I even
How do you push? Exactly. So it does vary a little bit. But I did have some moms say that, yeah, I did have a little bit of some contractions, to get to get the placenta out. But it's not going to be anything. Your placenta is nice and soft, so it's not going to be anything like birthing your baby. You may feel some like cramping or a little bit of contractions. Some do, some don't. But then the placenta is going to come out. And what they're going to do, it's going to feel minor compared to birthing that baby, is they're just going to check your placenta and just make sure it's all, like it all came out, everything's good to go. And I always encourage moms, if it doesn't gross you out, have them show you your placenta. Honestly, it is so amazing. You'll see like the rough side that was attached to you and the nice smooth side, and then you'll even like be able to see like the sac that baby was living in. It's really neat. So if it doesn't gross you out, go ahead and tell your midwife to show you your placenta, because they're pretty cool.
It is neat, yeah.
It is. It's just so neat, and you can like see where baby was living and the cord and everything. It's pretty amazing. But they're just gonna make sure that so the placenta is gonna detach itself from the wall of your uterus. It's gonna come out. Breastfeeding can cause contractions and help close the capillaries, which help the placenta come out and help decrease any bleeding. So we say breastfeeding is a good thing. Also, after the placenta's out, your care provider is going to check you, see if you tore, and if there's any tearing or anything, they're going to do the repairs for that. And we always say ice packs to the perineum are going to feel absolutely amazing after the baby's born. They're just like so good. So I know in hospitals they have like these cool fancy ice pack pad things. If you're at home, ask your midwife if there's anything you should get. She'll let you know. But ice packs to the perineum are going to feel amazing, and they're going to help decrease the swelling. So this is the time after placenta and everything. Take pictures. Just totally embrace the moment. Baby has arrived. So what we're going to do, since we talked about labor, we talked about positions in the class before, we're going to actually do a labor practice. And what we're going to do is our relaxation thing, she has labor practice, so what we're going to do, we're going to actually pair you guys up. And you guys can do it, and we're going to try different positions and just kind of pretend we're in labor. So while I get that hooked up, you guys can just kind of get comfy, and we're going to go ahead and practice labor and practice different positions. So let me just get this started here. And while I'm getting this started, let's just go over some of the positions just so we remember all of them.
swaying back and forth?
Mm-hmm.
Propping against like a
Like kind of
counter or
leaning
something
in
higher.
over. Yes. And sometimes the counter pressure, the birth ball, walking, stairway. So let's just kind of play around with that. A squat and slow dancing. So let's just kind of figure out what we can, and you guys don't need to slow dance today. So let's just go ahead and let's just find some positions and let's practice. And sometimes we're kind of like, why do we need to practice? But sometimes when you do a position, you'll kind of be like, tweak it a little bit, because that's what feels good versus what we did before. So we're going to go ahead.
And as you exhale with gratitude for the gift of this contraction, let your body go completely limp.
I don't know.
What's that?
Oh, show her how to do the nice hip squeeze.
Yes, so we'll do a hip squeeze. So on our pelvis there, you see how right in here. So what we do is when they're contracting,
Tension
do
in
just
each exhale.
squeeze in.
Feel free to rock or sway if
I
that
don't
feels
think I was
good.
aware that it was during the contraction. And sometimes, so sometimes they like the hip squeeze, or sometimes like they're having just like some back pressure, like right in here.
More
And that's
Jesus.
like when the contraction is the time you're gonna be like,
When
that's where it was.
Move over here. I went right above.
Oh, sorry, you
Taste it, and I'm
can move
like,
that. So then
taste
go ahead.
the oil.
You can either just do like a nice
And
tight
take
hip
breaths to say
squeeze,
goodbye to the
or
contraction.
even like some back
Thank it for doing
pressure.
its job so well.
Yeah.
The hip squeeze, like
That's
seriously,
that feels good?
like I've never, like back pressure, yes, of course, it feels good.
Yeah.
Joy
The
to
break
breathe.
hip what?
The hip squeeze is like,
Oh,
I've never
I've never heard of that
no.
one.
So go
Yeah.
ahead and chat with your partner if you want.
But like
about
even
how it
now,
went.
it's really
I know my
Give them
sister
the
said
comfort
there was a
measures
pressure
and
point
let
in her
injuries
back
back
that
up.
the midwife pushed and
Or places
And it
you
felt
should be.
amazing.
yeah. Do you know where
Yeah.
that one is?
So, well, it kind of depends like where it is with each labor. But a lot of times it's like right at the very end of like right
The
at their butt
tailbone?
crack kind of. And they just love if you just like put like I mean all the pressure you have
Oh, really?
just completely yeah.
Okay,
So,
so you may want to stay in the same
yeah.
position or try a new one.
That's my
Get
fun.
ready.
So you can go ahead and try a different position, guys. Take your nice deep cleansing breath. And you can
Okay.
yeah.
Your contraction is starting, so go ahead and take a nice deep welcoming breath. Exhale,
Take
calm,
a deep breath.
gratitude, and surrender.
This is nice
Slow
because it
breath.
is baby just hanging down there. Yeah, so this is
All tension in your
Is this what
body.
you did when you were before? Did
No,
you
I
get
never
baby?
used a broken bone.
Did you get baby like this position though? Did you get in this position?
See, for all three of mine, I was induced and like they was working out of it. So that's why I'm really hoping to do this for that
Yeah.
time, and I'm like,
Well, we
if
should-
I could, you know,
Picture Jesus
up and
holding
around.
you up.
Are you putting this one on?
or hoping to, or I can't say that I had my husband on board.
Well, my daughter
He's
literally.
nervous.
Yeah. Well, men are.
Really? So
He's
should
probably
I
afraid he's
just keep like
He's probably afraid he's gonna.
pushing him to like, I'm like, I don't want to be like,
Hard work and enjoy this rest.
he's not that nervous. Like, if I be like, this
So
is
again,
what I
chat
want
with
to
your
do,
partner about how it went.
we're gonna do this around,
Try
and be afraid
different
of
Do I
this.
know squat?
Are you gonna have a midwife come to visit?
Yeah,
Didn't, oh, the
yeah,
one
I'm
sit
with Brooke
here,
Curry
you
now,
face
so
that
they
way, you kind of like,
deliver.
I was
at
gonna
home.
say
Oh,
like
is that
hang
on
up.
the-
Is that what that is? Yeah. So if you
doesn't she face
sit
this way?
and then you like you turn around and do like it's like a nice deep squat and you just kind of like wrap your arms. I was gonna say.
Like that?
There you go. Now if you just want to bring, yeah, there you go. And you
You're
can-
gonna be stuck down there.
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna stay here.
I was gonna say, just like cut within that, like find where you're comfortable and just like completely relax yourself.
Nice side.
Yeah, just like, and that's just like a nice deep squat.
Surrender to the process at work.
And you can just even like wrap, like kind of, yeah. Perfect.
She's just sitting.
Now you just,
Not squatting at all.
Makes my hips do too much.
does it feel too much weight on your hips?
I feel like my stomach's just in my way.
Okay. Sometimes you have to, and that's kind of where you have to find like your, may have to like put your feet out
Oh,
wider
yeah,
or
that's
something
true.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pause.
Sort of squeezing it.
Out.
I don't wanna do it yet.
I was gonna say, she'll help you out.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good, guys. I'm
You
good.
have to take her time.
Do what I'm
My girls
Sit
love
stuff
just bouncing on this, like during
During
contraction.
labor.
Mhm.
Okay.
They just bounced away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like
And
that.
even the weeks before
Me,
they went into
all I'm
labor,
doing is like keep
Just
this
like
on.
getting the contraction.
That's where the squat is.
and like,
Yeah.
they all had a lot of breast and hips. They would sit
What
on
else?
something.
What else is there?
And I was gonna say you can do like the whole walking.
Did you try?
Because
that?
I do
slow
have,
dancing.
You didn't.
I was gonna say try the birth ball.
It's
See if you like it. Like I said, it's
It's
a treat.
really amazing.
It's okay.
You're not supposed to sit on it when the baby's coming
Well,
out.
you
It's
can.
okay.
We're doing labor practice, so we're not.
Right
It's
now.
coming out right now. Someone today at work told me that her baby was born at 32 weeks. And she was like, it's this big and all this stuff. Oh, that's cute. Mhm.
That would be you, right? Are you 32?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah, every week I like Google, I'm like, baby born at this
Starting.
Oh yeah.
far along,
Yeah.
and they're so
Size.
small and cute. I feel like they look more real now than they did.
Yeah, I was gonna say more like
14 weeks.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So
Do
just
we
go
have other
ahead
positions
and just
that
like rock back and forth.
And
with
we
us.
walked and walked and walked.
I was gonna say you can just walk, or you can do your hip,
Oh, yeah.
like your figure eight. Nice.
Relax your arms.
Yep. And then when you have that contraction, like whatever you can do to just
Relax your arms.
get comfy,
Yeah.
whatever feels good.
Relax your legs.
How far along? You don't know?
Next week I'll be 6 months.
Okay. Your
I
due date
always
is-
say February 4th. I always say it's a good thing.
So you can just rock
The
back
beginning,
and
at the
forth
beginning,
on it.
just
Just
pregnancy.
do
I was super
like
nice
your.
with her, so
I've been
I
getting
was like
adjusted a lot.
counting down.
Okay.
And there's
Hey,
another thing. I
I-
don't know if you
This
knew that my
many weeks and
parents
this
are the
many
chiropractors that I work for.
I
I didn't
know.
know.
I'm
Last
feeling
week I
better,
think I said
so
the week
I
before,
forget.
I said something
Like,
like about my mom checking where the baby was, and I was like, that probably didn't make any sense to her.
No, it didn't. I was like,
Yeah, you're like, why is your mom doing that? But yeah, so they both are.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, neat.
And my mom like turns breech babies and stuff.
Oh, wow.
And so
That's
yeah, I didn't even
amazing.
realize that Davy came early. We came early to like talk to her because we missed a class, and I'm like telling her, oh yeah, my mom like felt where he was, and I was like, after the fact, like that was probably so weird for her to like hear that, but that's like what she does, and so yeah,
Wait, so you said something about going to your parents?
yeah, they're both chiropractors.
Really?
Yeah, and so.
And is that where you're gonna deliver?
Oh, yeah. Well, our apartment's just really small.
Okay.
So they have a spare bedroom that actually this weekend we're gonna like kind of set up and figure out how we want it. Yeah. And I think I'm gonna try to do a water birth.
Okay.
So.
Oh, that's exciting. Good.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
That's so exciting.
Wonderful. Get some candles.
Yes. Get nice and relaxed. for
Uh-huh.
you.
my daughter made a whole playlist of all the music she wanted to have play. And it was very nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
She was getting ready to push and she's like, my music's not on.
I mean, it's a specific song.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Awesome. So that just kind of gives you an idea of like different positions that you're going to be doing, you know, in
And you're
labor.
still gonna give us the cheat sheet.
I was gonna say, and I didn't put that out, but I will get you guys a cheat sheet that was there's kind of like, sometimes it's kind of like, okay, what should I do? Like you kind of forget.
Yet, so I'm concerned
Yeah.
that I'm gonna.
Yeah, so we'll get you a sheet where it's kind of like, here's positions, and I like to have visuals that way. It's kind of like, oh yeah, this way, you know. And that way, I say even kind of practice them because sometimes you like find a little tweak that makes it comfortable versus the uncomfortable. So you kind of get familiar with those. So what we're gonna do, first of all, next class, you had said something about that. Next class is when we're gonna be sharing about what we, you know, did our research on. So that's gonna be next class. What we're gonna do now is our relaxation. So we'll dim the lights. This is where we go through a relaxation when we completely relax the body because we say, you know, relaxing is we're gonna perform better. And so we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna pause this one because you guys did amazing. Yes, and it's so fun. So go ahead, there's pillows and blankets. Let me know if you need anything to get comfortable.
And for the relaxation thing, like, are you supposed to do it in phase 1, like in early labor, or are you?
Kind of all throughout, so if you kind of think about how, let me just pause this. So when you're tense, like your body, like, think about it like when you're tense, you're kind of going to be working against your body, against your contractions, versus if you're nice and relaxed, all your energy is going to be going to your uterus and getting baby out, versus if you're like tensed up, it's going to go to your other muscles that are being tensed instead of to your uterus. So it's kind of like all throughout this. So definitely, usually in like stage 1, it feels pretty familiar, you know, it's like, okay, I can stay relaxed through this. When we're getting into active labor and transition, this is where you're gonna have to kind of, like, this is where you have to kick into that, okay, yes, I remember that, we relaxed, let's do this. And just completely, like, kind of reminding yourself to stay relaxed, being intentional about the relaxing part. And so this is where you're gonna This is probably gonna come pretty natural for you to stay relaxed. This is where you're gonna really wanna remind yourself and stay focused on relaxing. Kind of where it's like, okay, because sometimes when women get into that where it hurts, that's where you kind of are like, I'm gonna tense up now. And that's where you're gonna have to be intentional about relaxing. And then even through pushing, because a lot of times, sometimes the dad or something will just be like, okay, let's just drop your shoulders, and I'll just like gently rub your chin just so your jaw is relaxed. Because when you're not, if your jaw is tight, your perineum's not loose, that's gonna be tight too. So just reminding you to just completely to relax. So I would say from here to here is where we're definitely gonna wanna be intentional about the relaxing part. Because the more relaxed you are, the more your body's gonna do exactly what it was created to do. Versus if you tense up, it's kind of like you work against your body. So totally relaxing.
Usually watch their hands.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
If they are like
If
tensing
they're like
up their
tensing up
hands.
their hands or their toes,
Yeah.
and those are our pinto dads. Or if you see the mom, like her mouth, her hands, or her toes like curling or something like that, that's a pretty good sign that she's not relaxing. So help her to get relaxed.
This thing is funny. I had to get my gallbladder checked, and they wanted me to think about fried chicken. This was the weirdest thing. And so to make my gallbladder work like I'm eating something greasy, they literally said this to me in the hospital.
That is funny.
And I thought, well, you can do the same thing then with your body. If you think about something like that, like I'm relaxing, you think about it, you know, everything relaxing down here in your body, relaxing. Like it's got to work the same.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they actually said that.
Yeah.
It's so strange.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
can think your body into doing things.
Absolutely. And like when that whole thing of like when you're starting to like breathe fast and kind of get that panicky feeling, that thing where it's like taking that nice deep breath kind of like hijacks that whole panic, I'm not feeling in control, and gets your heart rate nice and low and gets you to breathe nice and deep. So it kind of like gets you off that crazy cycle onto that nice deep breath. So just helping you to stay relaxed. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna dim the lights here, and we're gonna practice the whole relaxing. So go ahead, get yourself into a comfy position. There's pillows, there's blankets, let me know if you need anything. And just completely relax. After this, instead of popping the lights on into harsh reality, I'm just gonna leave them dim. I'm gonna turn on the kitchen light then. And you guys, I'm trying to be done with class a little earlier, so I know you guys have a drive.
Oh, no, it's fine.
So we're gonna do that, and for next week, the assignment is that research the subjects that you picked and continue to do your relaxing, like try to do that every day, your pelvic rock and everything. So go ahead, I'm gonna dim the lights, but go ahead and get yourself comfy.